It's time for Recipe of the Day. The mistake that most people make when grilling potatoes as baked potatoes but on the grill is to leave the foil on for the whole time. You have to take it off at the end and crisp up the skin. It is so good. So today I am telling you how to grill your baked potatoes or make baked potatoes on the grill and to end up with delicious crispy skin. So first, russet potatoes are what you want. Those are sometimes called Idaho potatoes. They have less water content, and so they have more starch and they cook up really fluffy. So you're going to get your russet potatoes and you're going to put each one on a piece of aluminum foil. I like to use a heavy duty aluminum foil just so it doesn't tear on the grill. It's just that little bit tougher. And you put your potato on there and then poke it all over maybe 5 or 6 times with a fork or a skewer. And then drizzle each potato with a tablespoon of oil and rub that all over it and then sprinkle it all over with some salt. And I use kosher salt here, but whatever kind of salt you want is good. I'm going to say I like doing this all on the piece of foil so that I'm not like creating extra mess anywhere, and any oil that drips off, salt that drips off or falls off is all kind of there in the foil that you then wrap up around the potato. Then you're going to be cooking these potatoes over indirect heat on your grill. So what that means is you have some of the grill grates turned on, like the flames under them are on, and some of them are off, and you are on the off side. Now, I have recommendations for different temperatures here because in my experience, if I'm doing potatoes on the grill, it's because I'm grilling for dinner or for a party. And so there are more other things cooking at the same time. So sometimes I have my grill to a really high temperature, like if I'm doing like steaks or something like that. And sometimes it's at a little bit lower temperature, like a medium, if I'm doing like some chicken breasts, right? So if your grill is at a higher temperature, the direct heat side of the grill at 450 degrees Fahrenheit, which with that motorboat test where you have your palms of your hands 5 inches above the grill grates and you can count 3 seconds, 1 motorboat, 2 motorboat, 3 motorboat, you get to about 3 seconds before you pull them away. That's 450 degrees Fahrenheit if your grill doesn't have its own thermometer. Now, if you have the grill at that higher temperature, 450, then your potatoes on indirect heat in there with the cover down, lid down, are going to be about 40 to 50 minutes. And then on the other hand, if your grill is at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, that's going to be more like 5 to 7 seconds with your palms over top or the reading of 350 degrees Fahrenheit on your grill thermometer. Then you want the potatoes on the indirect heat for 50 to 60 minutes. Whatever temperature your grill is at, the best way to test if a potato is cooked through properly for baked potatoes is to use a thermometer like a meat thermometer, and you want it to be 210 degrees Fahrenheit right in the middle of the potato, and then you know it's cooked through. And I even sometimes will have one of those continuous read probe thermometers in one of the potatoes, and then I have it sort of outside with the reading outside of my grill, and I can watch and I know when they're getting close, and then I can time things that way, right? So you can use an instant read thermometer and start checking like 10 minutes before the lower time. So if it was going to be 40 to 50 minutes, you test it around 30, 35 minutes. It was going to be 50 to 60 minutes, test it around 40, 45 minutes. And then you'll have a good idea of how much longer you need to go, or the continuous read. And then you just kind of know and watch. If you don't have a meat thermometer, you can use a skewer or a fork and just poke into there. It's easier if you kind of open that foil because we were using the heavy duty foil, right? So open the foil up a little bit, stick that skewer or fork in there. If it slides in easily, fork tender, it is done. Then you can eat them right away, or you can take them off the grill, leave them wrapped in foil, and they'll stay warm for a good 30 minutes. I sometimes even will use like a cooler. So you put your hot potatoes that are wrapped in foil in a cooler, not with any ice though. You close it up and it stays nice and warm in there. So if you're trying to like make these ahead a little bit, they're good for a good 30, 45 minutes. And then you can serve them just like that, unwrap them and serve them. Or as I was telling you, you can get that skin nice and crispy. And I'll just say that when I'm not grilling, I actually do this in the air fryer too. One of my favorite easy side dishes to do is to bake potatoes in the microwave, and I will link in the show notes to how to do that if you don't know how, but I do them in the microwave and then cut them open and put oil just a little bit on both the cut side and the skin side, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then I put them in the air fryer until they get nice and crispy. The skins crisp up, the white side crisps up a little bit too. Really, really good. It's like 7 or 8 minutes in the air fryer at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and you get that nice crispiness. Okay, back to the grill. What you're going to do is unwrap the potatoes either right when you took them off the indirect heat or after they've been sitting wrapped in foil for a while in the cooler or just on the counter. And then you unwrap them and you just put them over direct heat on the grill. It could be either the 350 or the 450. It doesn't matter. And you're doing it's like 3 to 5 minutes aside. Roll them around on there and the skin will start to crisp up. I don't usually cut these in half to do them because it's too like finicky. And if some of the white inner potato kind of breaks apart and then falls through the grill, you don't want that situation. So I just leave them whole. They already have the oil on them and the salt from before. And so you're just putting them on the direct heat for 3 to 5 minutes per side. And then they're done. And I recommend that you eat those immediately because otherwise the crispiness will kind of steam off from the heat of the potato. So you just take them off the grill, cut them in half, add your butter, sour cream, green onion, bacon bits, cheddar cheese, all of the good stuff. And you've got delicious grilled potatoes with crispy skin. I will put the link to this recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there. Everything there is arranged by date, so it's helpful to know that today is July 2nd of 2025. If you like this recipe, or if you like any of the recipes from Cook the Story or from my other site, The Cookful, make sure to go back and leave a comment and 5-star rating. That really helps me out. I love knowing what you're enjoying. And also the star ratings help other people find my recipes, find my website, and that keeps my business going strong, creating more recipes for you to love. Thank you so much if you've already done it, and don't forget to go and do it again. I'm Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, the all-new chicken cookbook, and from this podcast, Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.